So, inflation, that's a big thing. That's a problem, right? You bothered about it? Are you bothered by inflation? Are you feeling the pain at the gas pump, huh? Um, it, it dawned on me I'm gonna have to brush off my old hat. I dug around the hat bin, found my economist hat, dusted it off. So I'm gonna come back now and pointlessly explain some simple economics to everybody because the teachers obviously didn't do a good enough job. And I'm talking to people who taught the doctorates at the Federal Reserve, like, inflation is transitory. I don't know why there's inflation. We just increased the money supply eightfold. Uh, but in hearing the inflation news, which I try to eschew news in general, but I keep hear what I do hear about inflation is true, but it is one sided. And what we're really hearing from the left is, I'm shocked to find gambling going on here, shocked to find inflation going on here. And then just your run of the mill, average IQ, normal people who are like, what did you think was going to happen when you literally increased the money supply fourfold under Trump and Biden and 3.8 fold under Obama before that? So if I did the math right, we're looking at 15 fold. I'd have to look at the numbers again, but more than 8 fold coming up on 10 fold. And so we focus on the money supply. Some slightly more savvy people focus on artificially low interest rates. Some people, if you're really savvy, like, what do you mean the reserve requirement ratio is 0? But I don't mean to bore you with facts and reality that affect you. I know, make it go away, President so-and-so. I know I'm talking to morons. You're Americans, right? Well, where it comes from, the milk is at the store. Why is gas so high? I need a loan bailout. I have a college degree. But one thing you guys haven't focused on, and here we go again. Hey, Cappy, are you going to piss in the hurricane again? You damn right I am. It's going to blow my urine right back in my face like it always does. I'm going to try and provide a solution to you morons. And if you look at my track record, I've always tried providing solutions that would have worked. But it's not what you want to hear. So I get called names, and I'm a poopy head, and I hate that group of people because I said .coms are overvalued because there's no underlying profits. I said, whoa, the rents are out of whack, and you're lending money to criminals. There's going to be a housing crisis. You hate black people, which is, I don't know what that has to do with it, but okay. Told people not to major dumb crap. The next thing you know, I'm going to say, don't shoot your foot with a shotgun. You're like, you hate women. All right, fine. Here's a 12 gauge. Go ahead, kid. Ruin your life. I don't care. I'm on Operation Evil now. But just for posterity, just for some S's and G's, just to give you Americans the economics lesson you deserve so rightfully shoved up your ass like a sequoia redwood. No, saguaro cactus. Saguaro cactus. That's what you Americans deserve. I'm going to explain the other side of the formula, and that is production, right? And a grander scheme for those of you that do have intellectual interest in this, the problem with money, especially when the government F's with it, is it no longer becomes a valuable, useful tool to measure things. It's got back on inflation. What are interest rates? Where's the money flowing? What asset prices is it driving up? Where is it not driving up? What's the velocity? Forget all that. Forget it all. Okay? Let's look at this thing called production. Because you can't eat dollars, although your high school economics teachers probably convinced you could. But the whole thing about the economy, whether it's this economy, the global economy, municipal economy, is how much stuff do we produce? Money is merely a tool by which we transact our labor. That's it. Okay? And coincidentally, because it's a unit of measurement of value or time, we can use it to put prices on things. Oh, that car is worth about $5,000, or at least it used to be until we printed off 10 times the amount. I'm like, I can't afford a car. Why is rent so high? I voted for Obama. I need a bailout. Said every liberal arts major ever. All right. But if you just really remove money from the equation right now, you actually understand economics way better than the average person would. Because all an economy is how much stuff and services we produce. How much stuff do we produce? That's why if you read, I know, sit down, read a book that doesn't have Keynes' dick in the author's mouth. Okay, read The Wealth of Nations if you can power through it. But for now, let's just see if you can understand the title. The Wealth of Nations. The Wealth of Nations, Adam Smith, I think Britain, wasn't how many British pounds sterling they printed off or minted off of his actual silver. It's what goods and services you produce. That's the real wealth. I could give you a stack, I give you a pallet of $100 bills. If there ain't nothing being produced in the U.S. economy, there's nothing for you to buy it with. And the real focus should be on production. Production, you say? Yes, I say. Well, that means, how do we produce things? I thought the milk just showed up at the 7-Eleven. I bought it with my EBT card. Well, if you want the economy to really grow, the economy, not the number of dollars we printed off, the economy. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Everyone sit down. Trigger warning for all you weak, pathetic Americans who shouldn't even be here. You got to work. That's it. Got to work. You got to produce stuff. And God, do I even want to go into the consumption versus capital goods? Do I even want to go into that little stupid graph? Let's put it this way. The productive capacity of the economy is not a function or a product of the here and now. And what I mean by that is there's labor. There's a certain amount of people here who could go and work. But it's also, well, how much did we invest in the past? For example, you guys don't like expensive cars. There's a car shortage. Well, that's because we didn't build enough computer chip manufacturing. Now, I mean globally, because we're Americans. We don't produce anything hard here. We could give you a sermon about diversity and inclusion and how men suck. Would you like that? Huh? But to build a semiconductor computer chip plant, that takes years and billions of dollars. It takes years to get that up and running. What else? Building a road or a railroad or some form of transportation. That's trillions of dollars worth of infrastructure. That took a long time. It took decades to build the U.S. interstate system, going back all the way to Eisenhower, I believe. All right. So it's not just, well, who's here now and what money we got. It's, do we have the infrastructure, the tools, the equipment, the factories, the manufacturing capabilities, the trucks? Oh, truck drivers, anyone? Well, that's beneath me. I have a sociology degree. Mike Rowe could kick all your asses. Mike Rowe versus all the liberal arts majors. It'd be like WrestleMania, but it wouldn't even be a fair fight. He'd smite you all. So what have we been investing in? Now, one of the major investments, I don't know if you knew this or not, because the Democrats were right. Education is an investment. It depends. Because it depends on what you invest in, what you educate the little children's in. And if we go back to the olden times, or we look at my generation included, I'm throwing everybody in here, right? Boomers out on this one. Everyone post-boomers is guilty of this. What did you all study? What did you all choose to study? Now, if you're an engineer or a computer programmer or an accountant or a doctor or a dentist, or trigger warning, sometimes you could be a contributing member to society without going to college. Usually you are. Usually more commonly, Tay, it's a pretty good guarantee. If you went to college, you are a useless human being to this economy. Maybe your mom likes you, but otherwise, for the rest of you, say you truly are useless. But for 3 generations now, y'all have been majoring in bull crap. The biggest waste and pissing away of money. Money that, by the way, doesn't only not give you no skills or abilities or make you employable for a job, but money that could have gone somewhere else, anywhere else, and we could have built more houses. Housing. Well, what if you took that money instead at 18 and bought yourself a house? You'd have housing at least, not that joke of toilet paper you got from Cornell. But if we had invested the money more wisely pertaining to labor and given you kids skills that you would have used and would have been employable, you'd have higher paying jobs. You wouldn't have that student loan debt. And the economy wouldn't be in recession because we'd be producing more stuff. And this says nothing about the opportunity cost had we invested that money in practically anything but liberal arts degrees. Literally anything. Toilet paper, ceramics, toilet plungers, anything to do with the maintenance and disposal of feces, garbage trucks, septic tanks would have been better than the trillions of dollars we pissed away on you generations of worthless, useless liberal arts and social science majors and business majors. Marketing, suck my dick. And if you care to get the economy out of this recession, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's like stagflation, but the unemployment is low. And it's like, well, oh God, there's a place I go when I go into town. There's a place, Marlins. You exit, and every once in a while, there's these two bums panhandling. One's got an acoustic guitar. One's fat. It's like, wow, it must be great to be poor because you're fat. You must be getting 5 squares a day. And if I took a picture right, I could get the restaurant in the background, that help wanted looking for it, and these two lazy bums. But that's the solution. We could work. Not only would that get the economy out of recession, but if you think of it this way, you got the money supply here and the amount of stuff we produce here. Right? If you jump up the money supply 10 times, we didn't jump up the amount of stuff we produced. All we did is we printed off 10 times the amount of dollars to buy the same amount of goods. And surprise, surprise, inflation goes up 10 times. So if you started producing things, which is going to take several years of retooling and re-education, or maybe you just start working, we start to produce more stuff. And then the dollars per amount of stuff goes down, and then you would have deflation. Now, of course, this is where we have to get professional economists who work at the central bank to stop printing off money. Do you understand why economics is a joke? It is a completely joke of a field. And if you're an economist, you should just be ashamed of yourself. You're laughable. You're a laughing stock now. You're a laughing stock. So if they stop printing off money and you all started to work wherever it is, at the grocery store, driving truck, whatever else, we would produce more stuff, and over time, prices would go down. GDP would go up. And with unemployment very low and the labor shortage, and I am very sympathetic, very Josh Flukian sympathetic to you guys in the Great Resignation, because corporations are absolute scum. By the way, corporate, we have a turnover problem. I don't know, pay them more money. But oh man, economy sucks. What should I do? What can I do to improve my situation? Here it is. Sit down, everybody. Trigger warning. Get a job. But here's what's funny. This is where it's funny. This is where I laugh. We didn't just load up 3 generations of children, now adults, with worthless jokes of crap toilet paper degrees. We installed in you an ideology and an operating system and mentality that work is beneath you, that you have a college degree and I'm not going to work as a barista. I'm not going to work as a bartender. I have a college degree. It's beneath me. Where I am again, with you 100%. If they don't pay you a living wage, why would you take that job? I got it. I also understand I don't tolerate corporate BS no more. You don't commute if you don't have to. Oh, we here at the XYZ Corporation, we insist you commute an hour and a half. We'll never pay you enough money to live within a reasonable driving distance of the downtown corporate offices. But if you want to be part of this family, we got to have you see, because baby boomer Bob needs to see you at your desk, even though you could do the job from. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. But generally speaking, on economics, labor force participation rate, holy cow. I mean, depending how far back you want to go, roughly a quarter of people who could work don't, which more than accounts for the 10% increase in prices. So if 25%, which couldn't be done overnight, I mean, the economy would have to get more jobs to employ an immediate 25% jump. But when, you decided, no, I really don't have a mental disorder. I've been faking it just so I could get gimme dats. Yeah, it kind of sucks playing video games, jerking off to porn. Maybe I ought to do something with my life. Let's just say you had that revelation and you decided to go get a job. You would more than produce the amount of stuff to counter the inflation. Now, admittedly, that's on the macro level. There's a word. Oil would still be very high because of a war. Well, you guys aren't going to be right. Petroleum engineers, the nerds you girls wouldn't date in school. Oh, and big oil. I just want my solar power. Why is gas $5 a gallon? I mean, you guys wouldn't go major in that. But you know, how many of you like it waiting an hour to get to table at the restaurant? Well, why don't you be part of the solution and make some money along the way? You can't get trade. Oh, there's another one. Speaking of guys that girls just absolutely want nothing to do with, tradesmen. Go talk to your parents. You know, the people that have housing. Because we bought in when it was affordable. You get it? The people, that's us, not you. Because you bought a degree. At least the interest rate on my mortgage is 2.8. Your interest on your student loans, what, 6, 7? I can live in my house. You can't even wipe your ass with your degree. I mean, anyway, the people that own the homes need maintenance. Did you know that? Did you know? No, of course not. You had the groundskeeper that you poo-pooed on because he didn't have a master's degree in communications. Well, anyway, the tradesmen are starting to run out. And I bet you if you had to talk to your dad or your mom, you know, like, hey, when's the toilet getting fixed? Like, plumbers are out, scheduled out 2 months. We dug a hole in an outhouse for you. All right, there you go. All right, but you girls don't want to date tradesmen or truck drivers or electricians or any of those guys who make well over 6 feet. You don't want to date those guys. But there's something really important. You want to talk about, all right, we don't all have to go out to eat. That's a luxury. You don't need to go out. Dining out, that's an option. How about a housing? Last I recall, you guys are kind of upset about the price of housing, right? Forget that you voted in Obama. Oh, Obama, give me all that free money. Oh, yeah. Why is rent so high? Trump too. But what if you picked up a trade and there were more carpenters and plumbers and framers and electricians and concrete workers? I know you got your master's degree in journalism from Columbia. But what if you were to actually work in the trades? And hear me out, just sit down. What if we just took half the liberal arts majors and we could magically Thanos snap and turn them into a diversified group of tradesmen and tradeswomen? Do you think there'd be more housing? I know you didn't study economics, and I was taught to you by our dumbest American school teachers. I know. But if we could just double the amount of tradesmen overnight, do you think there'd be more housing? And do you think the housing prices would go down? Yeah, do you? Do you have your college degree? Did you graduate from Harvard? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You graduated summa cum laude. Yes, you do. My little honor roll student. Yeah, you are. Worthless jokes of people. Now, so simplifying it, boiling it down, brass tacks. If you would like to do something aside from blame Joe Biden for gas prices, why don't you go work? Why don't you go get a job, admittedly, that pays a fair wage? I got that. I understand that. Why don't you go back to college and get a real degree, like accounting? I'll be on with Chad Elkins later on today. You could subscribe, tune in. The Elkins Accounting Hour. Accounting is that boring stuff only nerds do. Ooh, Grody, he's a CPA. CPA is looking pretty good now. Why don't you get a skill? If you already have a college degree, you just got to go back for 2 more years. And then come out, and then you're employed. Then you got, and then you're producing something. Or better yet, because it's in more demand, why don't you go drive truck, merchant marine? Oh, there's all these different kind of niche jobs that like don't require a lot of training and it pays a lot. Go to the union, learn to weld. Anything. Do anything. Wages are great. Or I shouldn't. It depends. They're better than they were in the 90s, I'll tell you that, adjusting for inflation. Remember that time inflation not only made you pay $300 of credit for tuition, but then you couldn't afford a house. That was a good time. And what's great is you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. Oh, remember that time you voted on other people's money and printing off the money? And you just need more student loans. And then you like completely destroyed your financial life. And you injected into your brain an autoimmune deficiency type of syndrome that would have such pride and vested ego into socialism and free this and free that, and the philosophy of noble parasitism that would prevent you from getting a real job and improving your life. Remember that? Those are good times. Those are good times, man. Good times. But more serious, for the true people who care about economics. I know there's a lot of talk about interest rates and inflation and unraveling and modern monetary money printer go. Okay, that's all true. That's the supply side of money. Let's talk about the supply side of goods and services. When's the best time to plant a tree? Now. It's going to take a while. All right. Gen Z, you have a choice. You're kind of at that crux right now. Do I major in worthless jokes of crap and become like my older millennial brother or sister? Or do I major in something worthwhile that's going to get me a job? And I don't know if the teachers are still lying to you about like, well, follow your heart and money. It's not all about money, capitalist pig. If you work a job you like and never work a day in your... Okay, yeah, you run that past your average 35-year-old who's living at home or living off of mom and dad's teat. All right? When you're done with that, I don't know how many more generations got to be destroyed by teachers and professors just lying to you. But if you guys want to not be poor, if you would like to afford a house, if you would like to not have to deal with Karen and HR, like, no, I'm a high-end computer programmer and you will pay me $120 an hour and I get to work from home, go and major in that thing. And then let's just say, because of the mental disease you were given in college, injected straight into your brain, you just love that socialism, man. You just love the ideology politics or identity politics or traitism, as I like to call it. You want to make lives and change lives and make a difference and help the world. Okay, fine. You don't have to go to college for that. You could do that for free on your free time. Like, I know this only helps my enemies, but let's say you're a social activist major. You really ought to not be majoring in that. You could do that for free. You don't have to go to college for that. Just go and complain that you want other people's money. All right. You don't need a college degree for that. Ironically, the professors that are selling you that joke of a degree are the ones who are screwing you over the most. But I know they told you nice things. You like to hear it. All right. So fine, go. I mean, and you see this all the time. Like I won't say who, but an agent in the field was showing me dating profiles of all these gals, and they're professional and they make a lot of money. If you don't support Hillary or if you don't agree taking more, you swipe whatever the way it is that they don't want you. That you swipe that way. All right. You could still keep your politics of parasitism. You could still keep socialism and vote your own 60% tax rate if you like. I don't know. I'm no economist. It seems odd to me you would do that. But you can still do that. But do yourself the simplest of favors and don't make your life a financial living hell like the millennials. There's the economic lesson. Hang on. Let me go. I had it down here. All right. Couple books if you want further research. Link down below is Bachelor Pad Economics. This is the financial advice Bible for men and women who are brave enough to read it. It obviously is for both people because the laws of finance and economics it's not like, well, here's the real laws for guys. Here's the ones we tell the women. It's 401ks or 401ks. How not to become a millennial? I would say this is the book you really need if you're younger. I don't know. Do you want to become one? And this is especially for millennials because it's going to help you realize just what the boomers in society did to you. I don't know about you, but half your life was wasted. Do you want to waste the next half, or do you want to get your act together and have an enjoyable life? Here you go. and a very simple short book that I wrote 11 years ago and would have saved us yet another financial crisis, this time the education crisis. It's called Worthless, the Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. I'm not updating it for inflation. It's just, I'd have to update it every month with the rate inflation is going. But if you would like to not be poor, not take the shotgun and shoot yourself in the foot of your education and career life, why don't you read that book? I think it's $12 or $13 paperback, cheaper on Kindle, I believe. And just not major in dumb crap. And then you'll have all the money in the world to donate to BLM or the Communist Party or the Democrat Party or whatever gives you value and meaning in life, because you've simply abandoned forming families with the opposite sex. Whatever it is, you're going to be a more effective, good little socialist if you make more money. Right? Huh? You agree on that? Huh? So there's your economic lesson of the day. Let's go through the super chats. Factious T. Lou, $2 a hand back at providing. Oh, yes. Yes. It's when I thought I had cancer. That's why I stood that way. Your friends, you got really good friends when they pick on you for potentially having cancer. I for whatever reason, I'm like, man, these are some good guys. I mean it. You got good friends. Like, oh, I got cancer. I'm going to die. I'm like, you dicks. Henton Clogs 4334, $2. Cappy, use a bear chola. It's the worst of the cacti. Okay, no one's going to, yeah. Henton Clog 4334, relax, man, take some money. I will. The stupid, the flagrant, universal stupidity all over the place. And I'm moving to Operation Evil. I'm going to sell the lies. Don't worry about it. But I'm kind of like, does anyone think maybe we ought to work and produce stuff and that might lower inflation by having more stuff? We affect the other side of the equation. Super Penguin 54, 95, $5. Do you know we are only 9 meals away from anarchy? 9 meals away. Thoughts on the coming famine? I think something bad is coming around 2024 election. I don't predict stuff in the future. And I don't really believe in the doom and gloom. And I won't lie, I don't care. I bought food. I'm getting solar panels installed. I got lots of guns. I don't care. I am a minimalist. I don't have any real bills, electricity and mortgage and all that. But thanks to you kids voting in Obama and Trump and Biden and money printer go Burr, my interest rate is 2.8%. Inflation is 10. So I'm a fool to pay that. You guys are paying me to have debt. Thank you very much. See, you can't. Sometimes the good guys win one. You're mean. You're not good. No, I am good. I'm the only guy telling you the truth right now. I don't know if something bad is going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I'm ready for it. I need a good show. The movies have sucked. I wouldn't mind seeing chaos. That'd be entertaining. Oh, they ran out of water? Oh, that's too bad. Harold Lagerme, a new guy, $5. New York City Union Iron Worker. See, there you go. Dude, you got to be doing all right. I laughed really hard at my contemporaries with absurd debts alongside useless degrees. I earn $138 an hour with no. Where have all the good men gone, though? Where are they? Iron worker. Whoa, let me guess, Harold. You come back maybe a little sweaty. You might have to take a shower. You have calluses on your hands, maybe, everyone. You might have a burn mark here or there. 138. You look like a younger guy, too. Man, 138. I know it's New York cost, too, but that's still that's a handsome wage, man. That's a handsome wage. Good for you. I hope you're making plans to get out of New York City. Although, I mean, if you're there making that much money, you're in with the union. Maybe stick it out and then do what everyone does in New York. Move to Florida. Michael Morgan, $5. Just thumbs up. Thank you, Michael. And that's it. There you go. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.